After an exciting start, it was time to dig in and set myself for the journey ahead. Our job was to follow the Budi Gundaki River, where along with a few other runners, I'd have the local supply runs to keep me company.
Got a little bit of a wonky bridge here to get over.
I'm not going to lie, I was super nervous. I had no idea what I was in for or how I should pace myself for what was billed as the easiest of the days. I tried to just enjoy the moment. Everything was new and exciting, so I did my best to soak it all in. Anyone who knows me knows I'm not the most daring of adventurers going around though, and I'm scared of all sorts of things, including wonky bridges like these. It wasn't long before it occurred to me that this first day, which was supposed to be the easy one, might not be as easy as I'd hoped. It didn't take long for the runners to really spread out, with the speedies already who knows how far off in the distance. As usual, I'd taken off at a completely ridiculous and unsustainable pace, so the few people who were behind me, including legendary ultra runner Lisa Tamati, all started to pass me before too long. And then there were the big suspension bridges.
Another big bridge here to get across. Oh, it's quite slippery. We're at the 9k mark, so mentally I'm going to call that coming up on halfway.
Yeah, okay, I know 9 kilometres is nowhere near half of 24, but these are the mind games I play when I have to run longer distances. It makes it easier, mentally at least. The trails themselves were pretty technical at times, and in some places they'd almost disappeared altogether courtesy of a few landslides.
You can maybe see just behind me we're on quite a wide road here, pretty rocky road, but still a road, and just up here obviously there's been some sort of little landslide, and most of the road has been well, put it this way, it's down in the river now, so it's a fair drop. So we've come from sort of down here and then up this trail here and then obviously into here, and yeah, bit of a little slide there. Glad I wasn't there when it happened.
There were of course some great views along the way, and the waterfalls provided an opportunity to cool off on what was a pretty warm day in the sun. Passing the locals and their supply donkeys on the wide trails was kind of fun, but then this happened. Up ahead was a cliffside trail, and if I was going to be going up there at the same time they were coming down, that was going to be slightly less fun. I did my best to stall to give them time to pass, but in the end I just had to hold my breath and go for it. Oh, and I almost learned the hard way that standing on the low side of a pack mule on the edge of a cliff is not a good idea.
Might let him go, I reckon. Yeah, I think so.
I wised up quick smart and pinned myself to the cliff wall and let them pass on the low side, because as you can see, that's a fair drop. I'm not great with heights, so even without the mules there, I was pretty nervous and just kept thinking to myself, don't fucking trip whatever you do. But then, if you're not good with heights, the Himalayas is probably not the place to go for a run.
Oh, it was pretty freaky.
There was plenty more walking on what the race director had very generously labelled Nepali Flat. Note to self, Nepali Flat is a little different to actually flat. And although I'm reasonably capable on technical trails, there was just no way I could run some of this stuff. Certainly not safely. Needless to say, I was pretty relieved when I finally reached that checkpoint.
30! 30!